This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
From what day I may find out, certain people not like me. Everyone got us bag a thing now. Next through me I do it like Nike. But me not fear no guy, No matter how hard them a spite me, me just a go and do me thing now. Me just a do it like Nike. 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 Them want poison me, throw me thing up. Plus me and them girlfriend a link up. Hello. Dog, where you did that when they think tough. No food, clean water fi drink up. Now me and the dog, them a link up. Big truck, 20-inch rim, just a spin up. The pioneer just a kicks up. And a hip-hop or calypso. Hello. You can't see the star through the tint up. Plus me and the Cuban a link up. Rose gold for the Cuban linked up. How much ice just a and me rings up. From what
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by AML Foods Limited, the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, BTC, Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Freeport News, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, the Ministry of Aquaculture Marine Resources, Naughty Johnny's, First Seas Island Games, Scotiabank, and Tropical Gyros.
Me just a do it like Nike. Me just a do it like Nike.
To tell you the truth, if I were you, then me probably wouldn't like me neither.
The Thursday, August 24th edition of Talking Heads is on and popping. Your boy Naughty in your company right up until 6 p.m. Listen, I'm going to double up the trivia tomorrow. I'm live on remote at Duncan Carmichael. All right, we have a fun show out there tomorrow. I'm going to double up the trivia. Might do 2 sets of trivia for you tomorrow because we've had a lot of great guests this week, and today is no different. All right, we got the critical thinker himself, Mr. C. Alan Johnson, chiming in. We'll be talking with him in short order. We'll have a great conversation. We can talk about a lot of things with C. Alan. So, I'm going to open up the lines, get your questions ready. You've always told me, hey, get C. Alan on as much as you can, Naughty. Well, he's on today. Line up your questions. Phone lines are open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day right here. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. All right. So with that being said, let me get a little FYI for you, a little information out of the way. Because, I like to keep you in the know, get you where you want to go. All right? And today is no different. And first and foremost, I got to remind you, it's all about John's. That's right. John's is definitely hooking you up. All right? For all you chefs out there, John's reminds you that they're the authorized distributor for Chef Work Chefware, the most respected global culinary brand. John's carries chef jackets, chef pants, aprons, and hats, all designed to keep culinary professionals cool and comfortable. John's is also now carrying chef knife sets by Mercer Culinary Tools that make for a better all-around chef. All of this available for you at John's Careware, Rosetta Street, and Carmichael. Both locations available for you 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Also, it's all about that strawberry cheesecake latte at Dunkin' Donuts. Be sure to check that out. It's going on for you right now. Help yourself cool down with one of those strawberry cheesecake lattes at your favorite Dunkin' location. Downtown Bay Street, Paradise Island, Palmdale, Bernard Road with the drive-thru, East Street South with the drive-thru, Carmichael, the newest location, and at the airport. Pre-clearance, post-clearance, and arrivals. So no reason for you not to be running on Dunkin'. Also, new arrivals in stock right now at all Fine Threads locations, Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza. Both available for you at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Check them out online, finethreads.com. Do your shopping online, then arrange for pickup at any one of those convenient Fine Thread locations. And don't forget, listen up, Bahamas. All right? Connect with your loved ones this summer with a bucket of delicious KFC fried chicken. Sharing is caring, Bahamas. So this summer, let's bucket together. KFC's signature buckets make the perfect addition to any party or beach picnic. Complete with delicious fried chicken and sides you love, KFC's buckets have got you covered this summer. Nobody does chicken like KFC. Let's bucket together. All right? And yeah, boy, I might have to do a bucket tonight. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like some spicy. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have that spicy Jones. From time to time. I'm an original guy, but a little spicy from time to time does the body good. So, yeah, try some of that tonight, probably. All right? Now I got that little FYI out of the way because, I like to keep you in the go and get you where you want to go. We'll get in with Mr. C. Allen Johnson right now, the critical thinker. We've got him zoomed in. C. Allen, welcome again to the show. Good to have you. What's going on, man? Hope all is well with you and yours. Or does he have us muted?
No, gotcha.
All right.
I was running back to the mic.
All right, there you go. I thought you was muting me like Pearly mutes me, man. It's all good. So, how goes it, man? We got a lot to talk about, Seattle. Yeah. Some stuff in Grand Bahama, obviously, and then national issues as well. I want to get your take on a few things. But we definitely need to start in Grand Bahama, man. Give us your take. Get us caught up as to what's going on in Grand Bahama. We hear every Tuesday, from Sarah Kirkby and from Darren Cooper, but, we like to hear from you as well. So what's going on? Bring us up to snuff, man.
You seen the fire in Maui?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all you saw was smoke, right? Well, we added mirrors to that.
Oh, okay. That's how Freeport carrying on. That's how Grand Bahama carrying on. Smoke and plenty mirrors, eh?
Yes. And so, essentially, nothing is happening in Grand Bahama. In fact, the discussion now is that the Cooper Moxie administration is letting Grand Bahama down. And the biggest problem we have is that we have a lot of promises, a lot of noise, a lot of conversation. In fact, if you watched the news last week, you had the Minister for Grand Bahama speaking, and you had the Halkitis speaking also on the news. And they spoke for about 8 minutes and said nothing. That Halkitis says, things are happening in Grand Bahama. It's going to happen in Grand Bahama. It's going to be a little bit longer for Grand Bahama. Take care of Grand Bahama. We know you're strong, Grand Bahama. And we're working, and we haven't forgotten you, Grand Bahama. And Ms. Moxie just simply say, the project for 15 years that we've been trying will be happening. The port, and then she mentions the hotel and the airport, and nothing much. They dropped from their itinerary of things that they were taking responsibility for. The container port, I think, the shipyard, and Six Senses, and the Weller Group and other things, because now that they had fight with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, I guess you can't take claim for those because they would be the Grand Bahama Port Authority initiatives. But
I was just going to ask you about the Grand Bahama Port Authority. I see big headlines in the Guardians today. In today's Guardian, that is, Grand Bahama Port Authority refutes Prime Minister's claim it's being subsidized by the government.
Yes. What happens is there is a dispute more so in regards to them. You have to I don't want to spend too much time on it, but there was some concessions made. And it seems as if the government is referring to what we may have been able to have collected, though we may have not collected because we forgo those when we gave them the extension on the concessions to the Hospital Creek Agreement. And so I guess those will be legal agreements where the Grand Bahama Port Authority at minimum would have to pay the $8 million a year to the government and some taxes regarding some property on the 50,000 acres we originally signed the agreement on. But again, the argument now comes as to the contents of the Hospital Creek Agreement, because again, if you could have collected this $65 million, but you signed it away, we don't know what you signed it away for because no one has been forthcoming to say what has been. And then you could also talk about the initial 25 years that the first that Hugh Alexander Ingram gave to them. And so we could debate on the concessions we gave them. Was that a concessions for development? And we did not get the development for those, which would be, almost had to be like 30, from 1990 to now, 30 years at 8 million, rounded up to 10 million. And so you have $300 million that we would have collected at minimum from the Grand Bahama Port Authority on just one aspect of tax collection, not going into what the other companies would pay. The question then would come, what did we get for it? So the issue for us on the table, though, is what's now, what's new, and what's next. We don't want to talk about the past. We could address that. But in the meantime, the cows, we're starving while the grass is growing and the cows are starving. And we don't have a clear, concise idea of what is going to happen for Grand Bahama or to Grand Bahama. Now, you must put in perspective that for at least for the 20 years, from going back to 2002, prime ministers and those who was running for as leader of parties at the time said there will be no economic development or expansion of the Bahamian economy unless Grand Bahama plays a major role. Since then, we have had Hurricane Dorian. The prime minister came here and toured Grand Bahama, supposedly Marco City, Pine Ridge, East Grand Bahama, and Central Grand Bahama. Now, here's what I want people to pay attention to. This is the same prime minister that was part of the administration of the Progressive Liberal Party, a senior member of that administration when the twin hurricanes hit us. And so he's well aware of the Royal Oasis and the issues facing it because he's been in an administration from 2012 to 2017, and currently he's the prime minister. This is the same minister that should be well aware of the subsequent hurricanes because he also served as Minister of Works, that the houses that he's looking at is not exclusively Dorian damage. These damages goes back to 2004. That has never been repaired. And so what you have is an island in distress and its people in despair. And no one seems to know or care to find out what is necessary to move Grand Bahama forward. Now, let me add a caveat to that. I've tried to talk to the Ministry of Grand Bahama for the 2 years they've been in, and I tried to talk to the Ministry of Grand Bahama before, in the previous administration. Well, I have some hope in actually being able to have sincere conversations with the current leader of the opposition as to what his policies and steps that he would take forward of implementing, if he was to be prime minister, or if he was going to prime minister at this time, or would be prime minister. And he and those I've met with have shown a sincere desire of not just understanding what can be done, but wanting to understand how it can be done. Because you hear people say all the time, oh, we're going to have a technology hub, and we just had another announcement coming out of Canada about 350. But I can assure you, in the same way I said about GBIC, the Canada hub is not going to happen. Because it's like you telling me that you see this beautiful parking lot, and oh my goodness, we got some shipment of corn and peas coming in, and we're going to be planting them in the parking lot, and then I know you're talking crap, because they're not going to grow. And so I already know the environment that is necessary for the economic development and revitalization of Grand Bahama. The individuals in this administration, as of yesterday, has demonstrated they are totally lost, out of touch, as to exactly what to do for Grand Bahama. We have the hotel they put emphasis on. Naughty, I want Bahamians to know, if you can build a one-unit apartment building for $100,000 that you could put on the bed and breakfast, in the bread and breakfast market, and there's people in Grand Bahama and in Abaco that is now still suffering from housing and everything. Every single month, this administration is putting the equivalent of building $100,000 apartments into that hotel, and the hotel is decaying. To date, we could have built 2,000 housing units for what we have spent on a hotel that is deteriorating from mold, mildew, lack of use, decay, and otherwise with being no further for a purchase or a co-development. And so we're just here talking. We have no major investments coming. And I think now that this argument concerning the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the government should be an alarm for all Bahamians, because it's not about just Freeport. This is about an economy, an environment, an ecosystem that is the linchpin for the recovery of the Bahamian economy and expansion. You already see that we have less people working today than we did before the COVID episode. Now, even though we got 10% unemployment, that's 10% of the people seeking jobs, not 10% of the workforce. There's about 30 to 40,000 people that may be missing from the workforce when you add in even those students who have left school in the last 4 years. That's 10,000 right there. And so we have to be very concerned about we're getting marketing as opposed to substance of governance.
I mean, see, Alan, you've said a mouthful there. And it's amazing that you look back, and if you look back along the timeline, from campaign time until now, the promises by this administration for Grand Bahama have come up bupkis, have come up duds.
Well, on Grand Bahama, we can tell you right now, we're having a discussion, even among PLPs. Who's next? What could we look forward to? Because even PLPs have begun to write off this administration, and I challenge them to say anything otherwise.
So let me get this right. There's open discontentment and disenfranchisement within PLPs in Grand Bahama.
Absolutely, because we're not seeing the promises. A lot of promises is made, and almost every week promises made. We are beginning to find...
So much so to the point now that you're having consistent dialogue with the leader of the opposition, Mr. Pintard?
Actually, yes, individuals are actually now looking to him to find out what is his ideas for Grand Bahama. And I know known PLPs who are seeking out, hey, what's happening? What is the F&M going to do in Parliament? Because his arguments concerning some of the things for Grand Bahama has begun to take root, because we're not having those political blame game conversation. We are realizing on Grand Bahama that we are all in the same boat. We are looking for leadership, and literally speaking, with all due respect, the business community and other individuals on Grand Bahama is looking for leadership, and they don't care if it comes from the PLP, F&M, or the Grand Bahama Port Authority. They want to know what is happening. How could they actively participate in bringing remedy to whatever it is that is stopping Grand Bahama growth? And we're not getting that opportunity to speak to the leadership. I mean, with all respect, we're not getting it from the Port Authority either, nor from government. At least the leader of opposition and his representatives are beginning to make themselves available to listen to the concerns of Grand Bahamians, as opposed to us sitting in isolation and not understanding anything. And it's more so they're seeking answers, and they're not getting it from government. We're not getting it from the Port Authority. And so it is only natural for them to go to the third source of information. And the emphasis is being put on Mr. Pintard is because he's leader of Her Majesty Opposition, and he happens to be from a constituency on Grand Bahama. And I think the focus goes towards him because of the relationship that he established pre-Dorian, pre-COVID, after Dorian, and after COVID, as being the go-to person during the previous administration, and even now for their concerns about housing and having dry-in in their homes and appliances and all those different things. He's been more effective than social services during the previous administration and during this current administration. And so it isn't like, this is not an oversell. We are living in this community, and I'm telling you, where you have easily 50% of the population that is unemployed or underemployed, that is looking for a form of support. And we're becoming more of a community And I think on Grand Bahama, we're becoming more depoliticized, except for some small groups of fanatics, depoliticized, because we're realizing, like you say, we're on this boat together. We need to find a solution. And if the government is not giving it to us, we need to have a voice in Parliament to begin to ask the questions that we can't get to ask directly, because we're not reaching the two members from Grand Bahama.
Speaking of members of Parliament for Grand Bahama, C. Allen, yesterday, Earl was filling in for Zhivago, and Pearlie asked a question, Grade, the current administration, Grade MP. Of what I heard yesterday and from other, platforms that have asked similar questions, right now in August of 2023, is the honeymoon completely over? Would they maintain those seats if an election was called, or would they relinquish those seats?
No, they would. In fact, it's a known fact that there's some shuffling of the deck is beginning to have a conversation on Grand Bahama considering this pausing, proroguing of Parliament, possibility that this FTX will blow up, causing an early election. You already have individuals on Grand Bahama shuffling the deck about who will go here, who will go there. Ginger will go to West End, Obi will be out. This one here, who was formerly going to...
But hold on. How does the current minister of Grand Bahama get another blind shuffle when they've done absolutely nothing of substance in their current incarnation?
Boy, I wish I could say I'm on air. Influence.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so what happens, though, is it is said that even now that the Prime Minister, while he was on the island, he did interview candidates for Grand Bahama. And had a big blow up at the PLP headquarters in regards to wanting to have some closed meetings, and the PLPs on Grand Bahama wasn't having it. They said if the Prime Minister here, he can talk to all of them, not some of them. But there is at least 2 or 3 interviews that I'm aware that may have occurred, or no, that I was told occurred, concerning 3 individuals who would nominate for some seats in Grand Bahama. One has to begin to ask the question, why would the Prime Minister, so early in the game, begin to consider candidates on Grand Bahama?
And he made a comment the other day that they wanted to prorogue the House, make sure that everything they'd implemented continued to run smoothly, and then he was going to get into election mode.
No, he has to get into election mode, because what happens is, and I'm telling people, from what I know that's happening with FTX.
But that's a little early, though, don't you think?
Yeah, but see, if FTX turns out to what I anticipate.
Well, we both anticipate, Seattle, because we talked about it at length. And I told the folks, when it goes to the States, that it's not going away. We're still going to be reminded, and the brand going to be damaged over and over again.
No. We are, listen to me. I'm saying, I don't care what the Prime Minister I'm saying. I invite people from financial service industry to have an open conversation and make sure I'm there. And I will tell them what the data says, that the DARE bill, and remember I said in 2020, when it was passed, that it's going to choke us. And 2021, when the PLP came in and rushed to change it, and we are now finding out why the PLP came, when they came into office, they rushed to change the DARE bill because Ms. Alison Gibson was paid $1 million to accelerate the application. And her connection to the leadership of the Progressive Party, there's some questions that will be asked as to how did he get approved in a matter of weeks that other people take months to do. And so what that $1 million serve for? But what happens now is that we got in bed with FTX. We're seeing the Attorney General name as associated with Deltec Bank, and we see Deltec Bank and Moonshine and all these other different things. And we see some personal emails. All of this information is now available to the U.S. government. We see where the Bahamas government refused to grant permission for him to be prosecuted for campaign donations, and we see where the U.S. government withdrew that and then came back with another superseding indictment last week, Saturday, charging him with what the Bahamian government refused to allow him to be charged with. Now they're widening the concept. The Bahamas government has yet to explain why it's listed at least 4 different occasions as a liability for FTX or a creditor of FTX. And the only thing that we remember about FTX was a conversation directly, indirectly, about our carbon credits being created to environment. So we have to ask, why aren't we having this conversation? Why haven't the government, since that time now, has exposed what is it that FTX have for us? What is the value of what is?
I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with the $9 billion that they're trying to recover.
Right. So this is what I'm saying to you is that.
And $9 billion is a lot of money, Seattle. Not even know 900 million or 90 million. $9 billion.
No, that's small change compared that if an agreement was made for, say, our carbon credits exclusivity, we are now finding out that the carbon credits alone is worth $88 billion. Remember now, these agreements speak of known and unknown factors. So it could very easily pull in the $88 billion value we just found could be in this FTX deal. Then what happens is, for me, the Progressive Liberal Party, let me just give people a timeline. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested for interfering with witnesses on Friday. Everything is fine. Saturday morning, around 10 o'clock, is indictment. It didn't name all of the people, but it named Sam Bankman-Fried was released around 10 o'clock. At 12 noon, we had a hurried rush proroguing of Parliament. I say the two things are related. And we move it to October 4th. Why October 4th? Sam Bankman-Fried trial begins on the 2nd, I think, or the 3rd. And by then, all discoveries and evidence and things must be in the public domain. I say this government is watching to see what comes up in the FTX trial in the U.S. to decide whether they want to do a quick...
Well, see, Alan, I'll be honest with you. From American tabloids and American press and reports and media outlets, you know, a lot of people are keeping an eye on SBF now that he's been incarcerated.
Oh, he's going to... See, I'm saying...
Because some people are saying, you know, he burned a lot of bridges. There's a lot of money gone.
Yeah, but see...
And maybe high-ranking officials and high-ranking wheeler dealers on that side... some people may be calling for the Epstein treatment, and God forbid we don't want to see that.
Right, but yes, what happens? In federal system, give 3, go free. Meaning you have to give 3 that's of more value than you. Sam Bankman-Fried is now realizing that prison is not a nice place that he wants to spend 20 years.
And he got 3. He got 3 he could pick easily.
Right, and so what happens then is not only does the evidence may show the complicity of our government, which would be a damaged eye. And the longer the Progressive Liberty Party stays and doesn't deal with these issues after his trial begins, they become one and done. So it makes sense for the PLP to watch to see the discovery with the evidence that would be released, and then take a Hail Mary shortly after, if any evidence implicates the government, to take a Hail Mary and try to retain 21 seats of the 32 they have. And so I would tell people today, you just to make sure, as a guarantee, Seattle Johnson is telling you, if you haven't registered, go and register. If your children haven't registered, go and register. Because this is not a normal process for the government to say. They're proroguing Parliament, will be bringing back everything that they prorogued.
That was a huge red flag when they used that word prorogue.
Right, prorogue. And then notice what the government said. The government also said, the Attorney General, who was not prepared for that press meeting, neither was the press secretary based on what they were addressed. They did not know about the proroguing of Parliament, okay? So just watch how they were dressed and prepared for that meeting. But he said that he's going to bring an anti-whistleblower bill. Do you understand? He didn't say he can bring a whistleblower bill.
No, the anti-whistleblower bill, but aren't there laws and bills around the world designed to protect whistleblowers, to protect accountability and transparency?
Absolutely, but what they want to do is to have charge anybody, including the media, if you have information that they feel you didn't have, they could with some crime. Now, why would you want to bring a government who promised transparency and accountability? Why would you promise an anti-whistleblower bill as soon as you bring Parliament back together, except to suppress information and evidence that you don't want people to know? But just when you talk about the overall failure, I want Bahamians to understand, because if we keep getting massaged back to sleep, we're talking about the numbers in tourism. we don't look at the real numbers. Oh, good.
But we don't feel the impact of those tourist dollars. A lot of those, like Toby Smith said yesterday or day before on the show, go to private islands, don't pay work permits, and they use cruise staff, and payments are cut out.
There you go. And so you could have 1 million more people, but if that people don't get off the ship and be integrated in, all you did was increase the volume in your parking lot, but nobody got out of the car to get into your shopping center. And so you have Atlantis who have room off, you have the hotels been knocked down, so yes, you could claim, oh, you have occupancy record. But we have not have any room growth in the Bahamas to satisfy the need. The problem is that we have had no real economic growth. What we have had is massaging of numbers for the last 2 years. First they rode in on, I hate to say it, on whatever Minutes did. They rode that for about a year, and we have not had anything except for what is called natural growth that occurs after the pandemic lockdown. But we have strategic growth in tourism. We've had no strategic growth in our economy. We have had no laws passed to address any of the promises made inside the blueprint for change, this whole digital plan they have. And it seems to me that this government is totally in denial of the 21st century, even though they do a lot of good talking. So I must give Latrell Raming and others an excellent grade on linguistic contortionism and gymnastics, because they can write.
Or in other words, some real high-grade BS?
Yes, absolutely. Hey, let me tell you something.
Bill Clinton like BS? Because, listen, they need to write it down and get it to the PM, because he's lacking in that department as much as he misspeaks.
No, but see, what happens is, if they could make that into a drug instead of marijuana, we get more money for that, because they got some high-grade stuff. And so what we have now is more distraction. You say we have the marijuana laws. So they'll bring up marijuana. It's a distraction.
Well, we got to talk about that too. It is a distraction, and that bill is that draft is lacking in multiple areas.
Right, because what happens is there's a lot of work around supposed to be by the previous administration, and we've had committees after committee. So they seem to me they want to form a committee to study the previous committee, and so the problem is that we have is that we somehow seem to have an orchestrated master attempt at gaslighting behemoths. And I'm saying to people, and I want PLPs, if you don't know my philosophical belief, go ask the leadership of the PLP. Go ask your chairman. Go ask Hannah Martin. Go ask Philip Brave Davis. Go ask them what my belief is. So this is not me, I'm supporting the FNM and I hate the PLPs. Why don't you go find it? I've never varied. But I'm simply saying this, I'm telling the truth to my Bahamian people. We have an administration that has lost its part from day one. It's seemingly that they were not prepared when this election was called, except for the disgust that people had for Hubert Alexander Minnis. They voted him out as opposed to preparing to vote a government with a plan in. And so now I'm calling on my government to please lean not to your own arrogance of ignorance. There's a lot of people in this community that knows this economy, that knows the direction we want to go, from a professional standpoint and from a non-professional standpoint. To please, I see the Prime Minister's office has become an enclave, more of a graveyard of old thoughts from 10, 20, 30 years ago, and we're not getting anything new out of it. No policies, no anything. And so...
just more bad BS.
Absolutely. And I'm telling Bahamians, I've never lied to you. I've never misled you in all my time on air. Very few people have ever challenged me on what I say. And I'm saying to you is there's a storm coming, and we must prepare for it. We must look to leadership. And in the absence of this government leading, we need to press the leader of the opposition to become our voice.
All right, I got a couple of texts for you, C. Allen, because we getting close to that time, and I the text line's blowing up. Texas got questions for you. So here's the first one. Naughty, I find Fred Mitchell most disturbing with regards to the Port Authority about them begging for an extension. Christie's administration, of which he was a part, that appointed an all-PLP board with Dr. Marcus Bethel, former Minister of Health, that approved the extension to tax-free exemption to the industrial sector of Grand Bahama.
Yes, it was. No, they were brutal. Let me tell you, there's a video exists where I went into the meeting and said, here's the, what do you call it, the profile, the rules we're supposed to go by. Marcus Bethel looked me right in the face and says, Mr. Johnson, I don't care what that document says, how we're supposed to do this study. You will listen, you will do what I say, not what that document says. Greg Morris and I, we both appeared in the front of that committee and had these very discussions that the PLP is now trying to use as a tool against the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And so the question then becomes, what is different now, 6 years later, for an agreement that they vigorously fought for? So again, it makes us wonder, is there somebody else behind the picture? Because if there is something to be done, the Prime Minister promised us that he would say what's going to happen, then come to the Bahamian people, because there are many of us that believe in the idea that if you are going to take the Port Authority, give it to a sovereign trust fund and give it to a sovereign asset management that has nothing to do with government. Because we don't need the ineptitude and other things the government has expressed and displayed for the rest of the Bahamas to bleed into Freeport, the very bastion and heart of the possible economic opportunities. There are sovereign asset management companies, just like how Hutchison and other people who develop cities around the world, who could come in, cannot be influenced by government ineptitude and capabilities and whatever else, who can manage Freeport. If you don't think the Port Authority can do it, just do not give it to our current cabinet. That's where the concern of business people on Grand Bahama is.
And that speaks volumes. Give it to anybody else but our current cabinet.
Yes.
My God.
Absolutely.
Here's another one for you off the text line, C. Allen. Good day, Naughty. Can you ask C. Allen why he doesn't run independent in Grand Bahama? I'm so tired of hearing C. Allen and Graham vent when they have the ideas to turn Grand Bahama and the Bahamas around. Why don't they join TADA? Here's another one for you right off the same thread. Year after year, C. Allen gets on social media and runs on. You know, the mouth don't stop running. Please ask C. Allen enough of the talk and take the bull by the horns. He can help this country before it's too late.
Well, guess what? I have always been, but here's what the problem is. You know, it's not my talking, it's those very people who sit silently and say, go C. Allen, go C. Allen. C. Allen, it's no one person going to change the Bahamas. We must want to do so collectively. But I can tell you, let me give you some advice. If you want to change the Bahamas, go join the FNM. You hear me? Go join the FNM, infiltrate that which you know will be most likely the next government of the Bahamas, and take over 20 constituencies. And I will work with you to make sure that you choose the right person who could think the way I think. And if we collectively get 20 persons, and if you want to, we could even take TADA and other people into the FNM, and we could then take that party over right now, not 3 years from now. Let's take it over right now, because when you join the FNM, you will have just as much right as those who've been there for 20 years. And if we can outnumber them, there's generally in the FNM meetings, there ain't no more than 50 people in each meeting. Good. Let 200 of us each go join a constituency meeting and take over that party.
All right. We got a phone call. Let's get to the phone call. And when we finish the phone call, we'll wrap. We'll get to the news. Flip side of the news will be into the 5 o'clock hour. But C. Allen, I appreciate you chiming in as always. Great stuff. The text lines are hot. You know, a lot of people listening, a lot of people responding and taking it in. Let's get to this call real quick. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Yeah, Naughty.
Hey, what's going on, Ghetto News Network?
You're just naughty by nature.
What's going on, my brother?
No, but you know what the problem is with the word naughty? Smart people like C. Allen, man. They so damn smart that they don't understand what's going on the ground or all around them, you know. C. Allen been saying what he's been saying now for the first 50 years, and he going into the second 50 years saying the same thing.
No, I don't say the same thing. I actually adjust what I say based on how the world changes.
Yeah, Alan, you're correct, you know, but you need to see what's actually going on. These niggas ain't into what you talking about. These dudes ain't into no proper...
Listen to me. See me, you probably just know off me. I am a ghetto person acting from... See, I can move from where I enjoy, and I'm naturally born and grew up. Ask 52 and all the rest of them in the Grove, those guys that you see killing people and murdering people, see, you don't know who I am, okay?
I don't need to know who you are. I listen to what you speak.
No, I'm saying to you, you can't say that I am on the ground.
What he's trying to say there, GNN, is saying he got his tentacles in the hood, too. He goes from the penthouse to the outhouse and everywhere in between.
What he need to do is give me a chance to down speak, because he's speaking for the last hour. And let me say what I got to say, because I can make this quick from on the ground. He needs to come on and stop all that technical stuff. Say, listen, these niggas thieving. You know what we need to do? Don't go back to the PLP in Freeport. Don't go back to the FNF. And let's make a change, man. That's all you need to say. These niggas keeping.
See, understand this. I am a person of reason, data, and information. When somebody comes to me and say, get in this vehicle, it has action, I intend to go, I see capable of being achieved.
Well, then let me ask you this, because I got another text come in. Naughty C. Allen says go to the FNM and infiltrate the FNM. What about the COI? Why not join them?
Because you will never remove the leadership of the COI.
Is that a viable option in Grand Bahama right now?
No. Let me explain to you something. The COI is a powerful advocacy group. There's a lot of questions that the COI has to answer concerning not just being able to express good ideas, that most of them may be harvested. It has to show that you can attract the competence of individuals who understands what is necessary to build a country. You must also be able to show that those individuals that you attract as candidates can attract the funding that is necessary. Just in the same way you say, oh, Seattle, you've been talking for years and years. Talking or having some ideas of what could do instead of how it can be done is a whole different conversation. And that conversation is coming sooner rather than when I begin to speak following my birthday, September 7th. I want them to compare me to the Coalition of Independents, compare me to the FNM, and compare me to the PLP and anybody else that may come about. Because I'm going to be talking about not just how to do it and what to do it. And I've talked to the leadership of almost every political party in existence today. And I'm saying to you is that they can't do smoke and mirrors with me, about the 21st century. Because I would talk about the 21st century when they were still in the 20th century. And so you see, you could sound good to other people. You could make promises about anything else. You could promise even resources that you could sell. But if you don't even understand how the resource market for which you're promising you can infiltrate works, then how does that happen? So I'm simply saying is that I don't join someone. They join me in my ideology, or I look for people who has competence and ability to align to achieve it. And if you don't understand it, have a sincere interest in knowing how to execute what you're about to say you will do. And that is for me, so far in the last 7 months, whatever would be in the 7 or 8 months, from January to now, the leadership of the FNM, I'm not talking about the executive of the FNM, I'm talking about the member of parliament for Marco City and his team of advisors has sought me out. I have deliberately sought out, let me use this word, I have aggressively sought out my party, and I've been rejected. They don't want to hear nothing I have to say. They don't have nothing to do with me. They don't even want me in their constituency meetings. I have came to the resolution that I accept that they are intellectually threatened by somebody that wants to do the right thing. And so I will seek out any leadership I know going forward, because we're in crisis in this country, whether the Bahamians realize it or not, who is willing to publicly stand up and commit to make the changes, not just get the ideas from me, but express it to the people and sign individual contracts within every constituency and every island as to what to do. And Mr. Pintard so far is the only leader who have expressed that to me. And I'm not. And I say to the people, my philosophical ties is to the PLP before Celine Pidlin came about. If you all want to talk about my history, that's why I'm sending you to the people.
You know what? You know what it is? Seattle News of PLP who calling the fish stink. You see what I'm saying? They don't like that.
Okay. And I say to them, if you understand PLPs, knows that I'm more PLP than they'll ever be. And I'm not talking about members. I'm talking about understanding the philosophy upon which the party was built from before.
You know how the mechanism works. You know how the machinery works.
Right. Okay. I can tell you from the meetings in Nassau. Okay, from in the old house. Okay, please.
I appreciate you, Seattle. We got to get to the news now, but hey, it's been a great first hour. I appreciate you. We got to do it again, and not so long in between.
Thank you so much, and Bahamians, please become involved in your governance. Find your member of parliament, hold them accountable, and I'll help you do it. Just reach out to me. Thank you so much.
All right, and I'll leave you on this one. Naughty, the government is just gaslighting us, bro, and we're on to them. We'll stay on to them every time you see that gaslight pop up. Great first hour. Call us, text us, Seattle, and I appreciate you. Quick break, flip side of the break. We'll get into talking sports in the 5 o'clock hour. Keep it right where you got it.
Ready for something very delicious this summer? Introducing the new Dunkin' Strawberry Cheesecake Iced Latte. Enjoy the bold flavors of Dunkin' Espresso and sweet, luscious strawberry, all topped with velvety whipped cream and irresistible cookie crumbles for a match made in latte heaven. Make Dunkin' Strawberry Cheesecake Iced Latte your go-to beverage this summer. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Shavara Roka Enius, Chickchani Farms. I don't think I chose farming. I think farming chose me. Winning this award would definitely give us the funding that we need to start our farming season. Most persons who are in the agriculture field realize that at the start of the season, which is in the next couple of weeks, you do always need a bulk of cash. I think we have a great track record for the work that we've been doing in agriculture over the last 10 years. And so when I saw the opportunity for an award like this, I figured, you know what, I should just go ahead and enter.
The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
Put your best foot forward this school year by shopping at John's for your back-to-school foot care needs. From toddlers to college students, have your child looking smart in a pair of Hush Puppies, Sperry, Easy Strider brand styles, and many more. Durable and sharp, the kids will step with confidence all year. Need socks and a belt? We've got you covered. And don't forget a new backpack and lunch containers. You can find all this and more at the best prices and customer service in town at John's on Rosetta Street and Carmichael Road. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by AML Foods Limited, the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, BTC, Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Freeport News, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Naughty Johnny's, First Seas Island Games, Scotiabank, and Tropical Gyro.
Right here on Talking Heads, and we're into the 5 o'clock hour. 5:13 p.m. is the time. You know, Pearl will be zooming in short order. Just look out for the Pearl. Is he zoomed in yet? All right, so we'll wait for Pearlie to zoom in. While we wait on Pearlie, I'll get in today in sports history. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And listen, man, well worth the trip out there to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza. Monday through Friday, great for lunch and dinner. Then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right? So definitely want to check them out. Give them a call, 377-7776. All right? And it's always well worth the trip to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza. Yes, indeed. And don't forget happy hour every Wednesday and every Friday at Naughty Johnny's. All right? 5 to 7 p.m. And on the weekend, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast starting at 9 a.m. All right? You cannot beat that with a stick. All right? Take advantage of it. Now we got all of that out of the way. Let me get in today in sports history. I hear the popping and the cackling.
I'm here.
What's going on, Pearlie?
What's going on? It's just going on, bro.
Boy, you setting it off today, boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I do now? What problems I causing today now?
No, boy, you had him talking about that draft, the marijuana draft.
Yeah, I didn't go deep because I'm not as well versed in it. I haven't done the studies that you've done. So,
listen to you about the studies.
I just trying to do the cover, that's the overlay of it and get it going.
Yeah.
But people clam up when it's time to talk about that.
Well, that the government is said to launch consultations on medical marijuana bill, all right? And this is according to Dr. Michael Darville. So we'll see. But if they're open to consultation, then they should be open to good suggestions from the citizenry. I think they should open it up from the citizenry to get it from all walks. So how it can benefit Bahamians far and wide, not just a certain select few. But we got to talk about that in the 4 o'clock hour one day. Not now. We got too much sports to talk about.
Yeah. It was up, man.
On this day, August 24th, and 1963.
And listen on, before we go any further, today is is our day. Today is Kobe Day.
Yeah.
All right, and then Lakers announced today.
His birthday was yesterday, but I mean.
Yeah, but August 24th is Kobe Day.
Right.
The day after his birthday is Kobe Day.
Right.
In LA and amongst the Lakers.
Right, because it's 8/24.
Yes. Because it's two numbers.
Only other one day in the month of August is more important than those 2 days. 8/31. We know that.
Oh God. Anyway, back to reality check it out.
I born before Kobe, boy.
The Lakers announced today that they will unveil the Kobe Bryant statue in front of the stadium on February 8th.
Yep, of next year.
Yeah. Okay, now, today's what's history.
And, I might have to be in L.A. next year. Lord's Prayer Life.
That's a thought, Naughty. Let's talk about that.
I don't even care if I up close. I'll let the crowd be in front of me. I just want to be there. And then when the crowd disperses, I'll go take my picture.
Yeah.
Because I know plenty of other things that can keep us entertained in L.A. until that time passes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
on this day in sports history, 1963, August 24th, John Pennell pole vaulted 17 feet and 3/4 inches, becoming the first to break the 17-foot barrier. 1975, you're going to love this one, Pearly. Davey Lopes of the Los Angeles Dodgers set a Major League Baseball record when he stole his 38th consecutive base.
I remember that.
2007, the NFL suspended quarterback Michael Vick of the Atlanta Falcons for his involvement in dogfighting. Sports quote of the day, I kind of love this one. To succeed, you need to find something to hold on to, something to motivate you, something to inspire you. Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett, 98-yard run.
99. 99.9.
Yes. All right, okay, yeah. All right. See, I dig in you, but you had to go get all specific.
Well, you can. You can't just, that's a Tony Dorsett quote right there, buddy. You know how Tony Dorsett is in the Dallas Cowboy hierarchy. He's up there in my book.
Yep.
He definitely is. All right. So, we got to talk, Pearly. We got to talk local sports. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. And listen, Burger King got that original chicken sandwich back, bro. We still got Pearly, or Pearly going to the fat fryer? Hey, you watch the mute button, Pearly. I was telling you, the Burger King got that classic chicken sandwich back, the original chicken sandwich.
You told me that the last time.
Yeah, man. It got the cheese, the lettuce, tomatoes. Man, that's off the chain. They got the combo going on. You definitely want to check that out. All right? Definitely. Now.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Let's get to the local sports scene, like I said. And I'm trying to find it because this big Guardian today, boy. I tell you, boy, it's fully loaded. All kinds of supplement in here.
Yeah.
Charlton advances to the 100-meter hurdles finals, as well as Anthony Strawn.
Anthony moved to the next round.
She moved to the next round.
Wonderfully wonderful. Isn't that great?
Yep. And
food soccer's. Okay.
Anthony Strawn ran the second fastest time of her athletics career on Wednesday. She was hauling.
So we know she's got more in her, which is good.
Yep.
She's going to have to run a PB. She's going to have to run a PB to medal. But that's fine. She can do it. I know she can do it.
All right. So, I think we're poised. If barring injuries, we should be all right.
I think we'll be all right.
And, like I say, barring injuries,
I think we'll be okay. But the triple jumper didn't qualify. It fell for her. I thought she would. They expected high hopes, but it's a good experience. She'll be back.
Yep. Charisma Taylor gave it a gallop effort on her first global championships, but at the end of the day, she couldn't get that one big jump that she needed to advance to the final of the women's triple jump. But I think the future's bright there, though. I think we got a lot of potential.
But that's triple jump. You can come there and have a real crappy day. And then come back to she probably go to a meet next week and pop her personal best and then get the first place. That's just how triple jump is.
Did you have a triple jump, Pearly?
I tried it.
It sounded like you were speaking from experience.
I tried it, but I'll tell you this one thing. I was I can't remember his house captain or deputy captain of Seton House in St. Augustine's. Go Seton, go. And I was we needed a triple jumper for junior boys. And it was a 7th grader by the name of Norbert Elliott.
Okay, that name familiar enough.
I said, man, you got to sign up and you got to triple jump. Now, and he ain't admit to that. Ain't nobody else can admit to that I actually found him. But I got him to sign. We got him to sign up. I think it was me and Derek Rutherford. Got him to sign up. And got him the triple jump. He won the junior boy triple jump. Went on and won high school championship triple jump. Was a couple inches off a junior national world. And had a great college career. And now doing a super job as a coach. I think at Purdue University.
Correct.
Yeah.
At Purdue.
At Purdue, yeah.
That's good stuff, man. So basically, you inspired him to go on to that greatness.
We have something called point making. So in point making it allows every student to be a part of the track meet. And you got to participate in it. So you don't have to win. You could run the one, you could throw the short put, and you get points for your house. So the superstars will excel on sports day, but everybody gets a chance to be a part of point making. And it was during that point making, hey, you need to sign up, you need to do this, do that.
Oh, so what did you do? The egg and spoon?
No, no, ain't nobody. Listen, egg and spoon is obvious. This is St. Augustine. The 1, the 2, the 4, 8, 1,500, 3,000. That was the races that we had.
All right, fair enough.
I did short and discus. I actually ran the 100 meters. Was it grade 12 or grade 11? Shocked the school, got a 3rd place.
Let's go to the phone lines, Pearly. And see what our callers got to say. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Good evening. I just thought I would call in and say one thing to my good friend and schoolmate. One thing.
And what is
Go Seton, go.
Go Seton, go. Even though you was in Alcon. You was in Alcon or Burnett?
What house were you in, caller? Caller gone. He said all he can say is go Seton, go.
Yeah, I think he was Burnett House.
I can be honest with you. Since we're talking about houses, I was also, now it's obvious, remind me, Pearly, it was Seton and Scholastica. Seton was blue and Scholastica was red, right?
Yeah, I was always red, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you dead, because I was on Seton, I was on blue. We used to root you all right up. And then I went to St. Andrews, and I was part of the resurrection of the Arawak House, the only house to win the Sports Cup and the Credit Cup 2 years back to back. Okay? All right.
So what's the Sports Cup and what's the Credit Cup?
You get points for your sporting events during the year when you go against each other in intramurals, and then you go academically with credits and the scholastic portion.
Yeah. All right. So we had it. Yeah. So that I'll tell you something. When I was in St. Augustine, Seton used to come last in the track meet every year. Every year, Seton come last.
Mm-hmm.
We either Burnett or Alcon will win. Seton Leonard battle for 3rd or 4th. Burnett or Alcon, Seton. But at the end of the school year, we always won the most points for the house because we had all the academias. So they might come forward, but we'd win.
All right, we had
the most people on honor roll and all that,
We got an update from the finals. I know Charlton was supposed to run the finals today. She came 4th. Just missing out on a medal. Danielle Williams from Jamaica won the gold. Let's go to the phone lines again. Talking Heads.
You remember Charlton's time, was it?
Once again, I'm from Alcuin. I just got caught up for some unknown reason, right? But I was in Alcuin.
Yes, you were in Alcuin, yes.
And Seton always came last in track and field, by the way.
And then at the end of the year, we have the most points because we used to get the most honor roll students.
But what was so amazing, I think from 2005 or 2004, Seton is a dominating house in track and field.
Yes, it is.
Actually, they may be the dominating house in sports, period.
Yeah, they are. Since Seton dominates.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, Sean A. Miller is a Setonite.
I know.
That's what I was throwing out here.
Yes. I was waiting on somebody to say that. Yes. She's supposed to be Setonite. I
just want to let you all know something too. That Debbie Ferguson went to St. Andrews.
Yeah, St. Andrews was
Y'all ain't just gonna let me down like that and just play like I don't exist, like I was a mirage on a pay no minor. Debbie Ferguson went to St. Andrews, damn it.
Not even my girlfriend. I I got it that one, Naughty. You did that wrong, Naughty.
No, I
You
got to
did
trade
that.
in there. That ain't for you. That's for Pearly, because you know, but he's the poster child for sock. He's fine any which way to bring up a sock reference.
And so will I.
And then he got a couple of texters who should be supporting him, who went to school with him too. That's
Of
right,
course.
Naughty. Don't say nothing to Pearly. He's right.
Of course. Well, Naughty, you know us by now. That is what we do.
I know.
It's either sock or nothing, and you know that.
That's why I always like to sing the chant from my school. It's all right. It's okay. You will work for us one day. Ooh, ooh.
That ain't happening no more, though, Naughty. That don't happen anymore.
As long
stay
as
there.
they check good, that's fine. They still coming to see us.
A St. Andrews alumni would be on the bottom of that check.
They're coming to see Janie Bus who writing the check. They coming to see LeBron who getting the check.
Exactly.
I know, but they at least want to see Jeannie's signature.
That's all right. You want to see that all you want.
You need to see that signature on the check to make you who you are. That's what I
Listen,
say.
the amount of money you paying me, it don't matter. I still happy.
There you go. But yeah, listen, I wish they may still have the same school spirit you guys do, because it's nothing like what we went to nowadays.
Yeah.
So I live vicariously through you guys having your school spirit to know that it's lasted this long and done so well.
All right, Naughty, but it's good to hear from you. But mind you, I'm supposed to come in to one of your shows one of these days to talk some volleyball.
Yeah, you need to
get
come
that
in depth. I want to talk to you on that because, I mean, you did a great job, obviously, you know, being the elder statesman and leading by example. And you guys did well in that tournament, all things considered.
Yeah.
Jason, I hear our niece went off and with hardly any practice with him and got best spiker or best hitter.
Best server, and she was one of the dominating force in the tournament.
Oh, yes, I heard that. Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, Naughty, she has some sock.
Yeah, well, that's good stuff. And that's your daughter. I can pull for her. Everything good.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you another question, Jason.
Yeah.
We got any beach volleyball going on? I know back
Not
in the
right
day when I
now.
used to work
We
at Breezes, we used to
intend
play a lot of it. Let me know. Keep me posted if you get any beach volleyball going.
Yeah, I will do that, but then
I'll
we
drag
do
the whole
intend to
caucus
start
out
that
for that.
sometime shortly.
I'll
We
drag
do
the,
intend to get started.
I dragged the till you find Troy Bodie, if he's still knocking around here anywhere too. He used to play beach volleyball back in the day. Couple of
Yeah, man. Troy was a pretty good beach ball player.
Yeah, man, he was pretty good at beach volleyball. D. Claire played it as well, too. They played in some tournaments against some American guys back in the day at Breezes. But it is a good sport, and it's a lot of fun, and it's not as hard on the knees, on the sand as everything else.
Boy, but it's hard on your endurance. You better be well fit.
I'll put you in wicked shape, boy. I could work out for me later. I ain't worried about that. It could help me run my mouth even longer. All right,
you
Jason,
guys,
good
take
to
care.
hear from you, man. Great call.
All right,
Appreciate
Jake.
you. Be safe.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, Jake. Later.
Yeah, Pearly. I mean, I can be honest with you. I don't mean, but you could come out and watch if you want, because I know you don't partake no more.
I so scared of injury, right? And I scared to even walk fast. I say I was injured. I was always injury prone. So at my age, I like, man, if I try something too excelling, and I seem like I get a pull hammy, ACL.
Speaking of injuries too, I've been to the barber shop and they try, but give Stevie a break. I say, listen, I ride hard for Stevie. All right, Stevie Gardner, I support Stevie, great athlete, and when he's on. I said, but I can be honest with y'all. When he injured. His feast or family with him. There ain't no in between.
I don't know. Yeah, he actually dominates, or he's not there.
Either he dominates or ain't nothing happening. So I'll take them any day of the week. Because either you can win or you can pull up. One out of the two.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying to make fun of Stevie. I'm just saying that some people got to realize that I'm a comedian and sometimes I make light of the situation.
Yeah. I keep him in check, though, listeners. Don't worry about that.
That was funny yesterday, though. He's put up more than a dancehall selector. That's funny as hell, man. I don't hear nobody say.
I kind of work a little better at jokers, though.
No, but then you can't read me in the barbershop for it and be laughing at it at the same time. That way I know I've won.
That's true.
You can't be telling me I'm wrong for it while you laughing.
That's true. You're right.
Then you ask me when I live in, so which selector is Moderon or Stone Love? I say Moderon.
I hear that.
I think, I'll be honest with you though. I think just good rehab right now. Thank God he doesn't have to have surgery. All right?
Thank God for
Get
that.
the quality rehab in now. Make sure you full 100 for 2024. And we're going to have the male and female king and queen of the 400 come to 2024 in the Olympics, barring injury.
I truly believe that.
And I don't think Shawnee will have another one like Rihanna back to back. I think she'll wait. She'll get a gold medal and then probably have another kid. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
Nah, I got to talk to her dad. Her dad been on the show a couple of times. I got to get him back on, and we got to have another conversation because he's bring me right up to snuff with everything, you know.
Sean? Yeah.
Yeah, and he knows his stuff, and then obviously, you know, he'll give me a little insight on some of the other athletes too, what to look for. Sharp dude, man. Sharp dude. I know he went to SAC too.
He been around track long.
Yeah, I know. I just waiting for you to slide in your SAC reference. Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna. No, you're doing well for me. No, I'm good.
All right, so let's go to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll get back into it. And we'll be chopping it up with Purdy. We'll go international. We'll do who's in and who's out. All brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. We'll get our pro picks ready for you. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And we'll have your final 10 lined up for you as well. So keep it right where you got it. The Thursday, August 24th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Get the flavor explosion that'll satisfy all your bacon cravings. The KFC Sweet and Smoky Bacon Sandwich from the Fried Chicken Experts features 2 crispy strips of bacon on a premium 100% white meat chicken filet, layered with 2 slices of cheese, smoky chipotle mayo, and our secret surprise, sweet bacon jam, all stacked on a buttery brioche bun. Experience the sweet and smoky explosion today, as it's here for a limited time. KFC Sweet and Smoky Bacon Sandwich. It's finger-licking good.
As a parent and pediatrician, I know how important it is to keep our little ones up to date with their childhood immunizations. When your little ones are immunized, they have protection against diseases like measles, whooping cough, and polio, which has a treatment or cure. When the immunized child is exposed to the germs that cause these diseases, their immune system is prepared to fight immediately, preventing sickness and even death. Parents have been doing this for years to keep your little ones safe.
Vaccines are essential for new and returning students. As you begin back-to-school preparations, ensure that your children's vaccinations are up to date. All vaccines are available at all public health clinics. This message is brought to you by PAHO WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and USAID.
Wherever you are in the world, Cleveland Clinic's world-class care is here for you. From Ohio to Florida to London, Cleveland Clinic treats thousands of patients every year. Ranked number 2 in the world by Newsweek, you can trust our caregivers to enhance your experience across each step of your treatment journey. For every care in the world, learn more at clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Put your best foot forward this school year by shopping at John's for your back-to-school foot care needs. From toddlers to college students, have your child looking smart in a pair of Hush Puppies, Sperry, Easy Strider brand styles, and many more. Durable and sharp, the kids will step with confidence all year. Need socks and a belt? We've got you covered. And don't forget containers. You can find all this and more at the best prices and customer service in town at John's on Rosetta Street and Carmichael Road. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
Ready for something very delicious this summer? Introducing the new Dunkin' Strawberry Cheesecake Iced Latte. Enjoy the bold flavors of Dunkin' Espresso and sweet, luscious strawberry, all topped with velvety whipped cream and irresistible cookie crumbles for a match made in latte heaven. Make Dunkin' Strawberry Cheesecake Iced Latte your go-to beverage this summer. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96. Talk all day.
We're back at you on the Thursday, August 24th edition of Talking Heads. And, of course, we're into the 5 o'clock hour. You know, we're talking sports. Now we're into the Who's In and Who's Out segment. All brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. And I'm telling you, NBA teams, you know, getting ready for training camp, Pearly.
Yeah, training camp when? End of the month? Next week?
End of the month, September. End of the month. No. End of the month in September. End of September into October is the preseason. Then in November they start.
Yeah.
And you know they don't play. They don't play. They get into that season quick. They start running. Let's go. Let's play.
I don't think my I don't think my thing into football until right after football.
Well, they got
I don't can't be that much.
They got a list out already, calling it fake NBA contenders failing the eye test. Top 5. Number 5. Let's go 5 through 1. All right.
All right.
You'll be surprised here too, boy, Purdy. 5 through 1. Here we go. Number 5, the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And they predict them to be tied for 8th best in the East. Don't think of them no better than that. Next team on the list, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, ain't nothing happening for them.
They project them to
all right.
Not they were a lot higher last year. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
The Clippers, who they say should be number 5 in the West. They're also saying it's fool's gold. That ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Here's where it gets surprising. The Golden State Warriors. So they're getting a little long in the tooth. This might be the year. The Father Time catches up with them.
There'll be no closing, but I think Chris Paul is the type game they play. Chris Paul can take them out of that game. He's not a run and gun like what they used to do it.
And guess what? The Dallas Mavericks. They said they're fool's gold too. They finished 11th last year. They predict them to finish 5th this year. It's crazy. They said don't even get caught up onto that hype train. Dallas is going to be in a tough situation.
Yeah, they got a nutcase playing with them, so what you expect?
Well, you know what it says? Say, Naughty, why are we still talking about soccer? We done talked about soccer earlier today from 2 to 4. Why are we talking about soccer now?
Tell Jeff, relax yourself and enjoy life. So the last, no, this is not you, Naughty. Block your ears up on this one. Just put your fingers in your ears for this
all
one,
right,
Naughty.
Go ahead.
The last place Yankees.
Listen here. You ain't got to bring the Yankees into this, you know.
Listen, he calling it mad because I talk with Zach. I don't want, and so I have to throw something at him to keep him quiet. And then his response can be the Dodgers can choke.
But back to what we was talking about. I think that they're dead on with Dallas. I think Dallas is overrated. And I'm interested to see what could happen with Golden State. Because they're long in the tooth to begin with. But
they finished 6th. They finished 6th last night.
Yeah.
And they ain't really got that much of a different of a team other than CP3.
Correct.
And is he there? Is he there? CP with 40 now, 41, 42, somewhere around there.
I don't know.
But the point is he's one of the oldest players in the NBA, and his game has stepped back a lot the last couple of years.
It has.
Particularly last.
So I agree with them there on that, for sure.
Them young Laker legs, and them young Laker legs, and them young Memphis legs can run them crazy.
They really, they could. It could very well be a possibility.
Yeah.
Ohtani injured, Pearly?
Yeah, he got a UCL or AC, got a UCL tear or something like that.
Yep. Ulnar cruciate ligament.
MRI. He may have to have surgery. I think that right there drop his stock tremendously.
You think so?
That injury can hurt him. What I paying you $600 million for, and I know if you can still, I mean, we have to see how you come back from it, but still, you know. If I was the Dodgers, I'd stay away from him. I'd spend the money on someone else, on someone else.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting to see.
I would give Urias what he wants, bring Urias back, and get another frontline starter, which you can have the money and maybe another bat. You don't need another bat. You get alone. I actually don't even need another frontline starter because you got a lot of talent coming out of out of the rookies, and you had 4 rookie pitchers who got their feet wet this year.
Indeed.
And one is a rising star, and one that was hurt is back. Paul, he's back. I can never pronounce his cotton picking name right.
You can never pronounce none of your Dodgers names right.
No, but he no, all I can only him when I mess up.
That's because you on the sock. That's why.
He would look super in preseason. Was expected to break the starting rotation and then got hurt. Now he's back, and if he pitches anything there, what he did in preseason, it's another young pitcher. So if Dodgers ain't hurting for pitching, Dodgers got a bright future in terms of its successions.
Yeah, Texter just texted me back. Yes, I'm petty, but it was funny because you texted me back laughing.
What do you got you petty for?
Because I say you get all your Dodgers names wrong. You say, yeah, you always get them wrong. And you didn't hear me say it. I said, that's because you go on the sock.
No, I heard that. I just chose to
ignore it. But the text to say, and I was petty.
Because I know I got backup out there, you see?
Well, a couple of things, Purdy, before we go, all right? We got college football starting on Saturday, all right? Not the full slate, but there's enough games to kill the Jones.
But wait. You be talking about Saturday. College football start tonight.
Yeah. Who plays tonight, Pearly?
I looking for it right now. Do I have that on my list?
No, Pearly. College starts on Saturday, Pearly.
But somebody playing today or tomorrow.
All right, let's get this phone call. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Who's this?
Hey, this is a Golden State Warrior fan.
Okay.
Tell Pearly for me, he's wrong when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, okay?
How am I wrong?
You can tell him yourself, man.
Help me.
Pearly, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Golden State is a team that finished 6th this season.
Yes.
The upcoming season, they finished 6th with Klay Thompson coming back off injury, a team that was not united, and they finished 6th. Jordan Poole is gone. Greenhead is in the right place. Klay is 2 years removed from his injury. Hey, they're going to be a super team.
But I call
and a mature Jonathan Kuminga.
You using that word mature. I'm glad you used that word mature because plenty maturity on that team, plenty long teeth on that team. You think Chris Paul is a good addition to an already aging group?
I think he is. I think Steve Kerr will know how to manage the minutes. And look out.
So some load management will be going on.
They may pick up Howard or JaVale McGee. Watch and see.
All right. That could be a possibility.
So Pearly is wrong. Naughty, you agree with me?
I don't agree with you, and I don't agree that Pearly's wrong. Pearly making a point, and you making a point. I think both of you making valid points. You as a Golden State Warrior, and Pearly as a Laker.
My talk is very neutral.
Yeah, I forgot that portion.
You forgot that portion.
He's still losing. He's a Laker. He's a Dodger. What else?
And a Dolphin.
A Rams?
A Dolphin.
A Dolphin? Oh, help that guy.
I'm trying. That's why we do this every day. And you got to keep calling in the help too. Okay,
take it.
Now who you supposed for football, though?
Oh man, I'm a Giant fan.
Goodbye. We'll be beating you on the first game of the season. Call me the next day. Holler at your boy.
Call up. Monday after that game, call in, yeah?
Call in.
You have reason to call in. You can be happy. You got reason to call in.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up, Pearly. I did defending you and you throw me under the bus. That's how y'all suckers go. Listen.
You forget that, eh?
There you go. Saturday, 2:30, you got Navy and Notre Dame. 5:30, UTEP and Jacksonville. Right. 7 p.m., Ohio, San Diego State. Then UMass and New Mexico, Hawaii at Vanderbilt, which should be a good game. I like that San Jose State USC game, too. That's going to be a nice one at 8 p.m. Then FIU and Louisiana Tech. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 games this Saturday. Then next Saturday will be all in sundry from 10 in the morning, if you know what I mean, Pearly.
Yes, sir.
God is good. The best time of the year is upon us. All right, so Pearly, who you like tonight? Real quick, who you like tonight? Give me 4 for the Island game.
We already took. I can't bet on my Dodgers because we got suspended at bad weather coming yesterday, which Rob Kershaw will win. We already beat them 6-1. We lead them 3-2. We got the bases.
Y'all up 4-2 right now. Y'all just scored. Y'all up 4-2.
Oh yeah, yes. Sorry, yes. Okay. I like. Oh boy, I like the Orioles over the Jays again tonight.
Good stuff.
I like I scared of this one. I like Chicago to take Oakland tonight.
Uh-huh.
I like the Reds to beat Arizona tonight.
I like that too.
And that's the 4 or one more.
Here's one I like to throw in. I like the Texas
over the Pirates.
I like the Texas Rangers in the upset over the Twinkies tonight.
I scared of that one tonight. I don't know why.
I like that one. You got cover the WNBA games tonight here too. I'll be honest with you. If you want a straight out money line winner, go with the Liberty over the Sun. John Paul taking on our old team.
That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game.
I like the Fever over the Storm. I like the Aces. The Fever, the Indiana Fever over the Seattle Storm.
Okay.
I like the Chicago. I like the Las Vegas Aces over the Chicago Sky. And I like the Dallas Wings to take out the Minnesota Lynx. Don't do the points. Big point spread in a couple of these games. I would take the money line and all, bet it, set it, forget it, and win with the Island game.
Don't do the points to them because things has happened. WNBA ain't
You're right.
consistent.
Correct.
You have a Wilson come out there and score 1 million. She had 53 points Saturday.
I with you, Texas. The Aces definitely over the Sky for sure. Bet it, set it, and forget it. All right.
I'm afraid I like the Liberty over the Sun, but if somebody goes with the Sun, I wouldn't feel bad because that the last time they played, they beat the Sun beat them.
All right, no problem. We good to go, Pearly? I see the producer give me the thumbs up. We got to get to the break now because Rich Eisen taking us home. And guess what? It's not Rich Eisen that actually is Colin Cowherd. And guess what? What the Miami Dolphins was doing calling the Las Vegas Raiders for a certain running back.
We want Super Bowl. We greedy.
Colin Cowherd can break it down for you on the ride home. It's all coming up after the break.
We realize you have a really good team, and that's probably that one player right there to put us over the hump.
There you go. Appreciate you, Pearly. We'll see you tomorrow, my brother.
All right, brother. Be safe.
Enjoy the bold flavors of Dunkin' Espresso and sweet, luscious strawberry, all topped with velvety whipped cream and irresistible cookie crumbles for a match made in latte heaven. Make Dunkin' Strawberry Cheesecake Iced Latte your go-to beverage this summer.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama, and let me tell you about a deal you can't afford to miss. It's the 2 Fly Free from Nassau promotion. You heard me right. 2 people can fly free from Nassau. Just go to BahamasResidence.com for all the details so you can start your vacay today. There are 10 participating islands with 35 amazing hotels to choose from. You can go to Abaco, Acklands, Andros, Bimini, Cat Island, Eleuthera, Harbor Island, Exuma, Long Island, or San Salvador. There's so much to do on all these islands, you just may want to go to a few. And why not? With the 2 Fly Free from Nassau deal, it's like getting an island for free. Take your family. Go with friends. Arrange a feat. Your co-workers or employees will love you. Or go on an adventure with the guys. Or a girl's getaway from the guys. Or a romantic trip for 2. Whatever you do, you'll thank me. Visit BahamasResidence.com for more information. That's BahamasResidence.com.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan. Island game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan. Dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan. Island game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan. From the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Okay, school bag, books, pencils, uniform. Oh Lord, and I gotta buy snacks too?
Just lay it on the line.
The Guardian Media Group and AML Foods want to help families in need with our first ever Back to School Snackathon. What's a snackathon? Well, we want to help by assisting in donating school snacks to children that may need them as they head back to school this year. To be a part of our snackathon, all you have to do is shop at your favorite Solomon Superstore or Fresh Market. At the store, you can donate your pre-existing loyalty points, or you can donate cash directly at the register. Every single penny will go towards purchasing snacks that will be donated for distribution by the Bahamas Feeding Network and Hands for Hunger. Together, we can ensure that every child that opens their backpack this year will have a snack and a smile.
Get involved, get involved, get involved, get involved.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
From checking in on the running back, and that's not the only star they've checked in on, having ongoing talks with the Colts about picking up Jonathan Taylor. This comes after Miami was all in on Dalvin Cook before he gave them the stiff arm to sign with the Jets. What is this Miami? They're just pushing all their chips in the middle, huh?
Well, you don't have any choice. I mean, Tua is the most fragile quarterback right now in the league in terms of that concussion changes everything. I think Miami's doing the right thing. We got no idea. We're going to go pay for Fangio, Ramsey, running back. And by the way, I don't think, they got to pay at Tua, I think, 2 more years. So the bottom line is, you know what Miami's going to draft next year? Even if Tua's good, they're going to draft a quarterback. Because they don't have a lot of holes. They're going to go O-line and quarterback next year. So whoever comes out of college to play quarterback for the Dolphins, maybe backing up to or playing, it's going to have a lot of good players.
Oh, Mike White. Mike White could be the guy. We'll see.
Not the guy.
We'll see. Just a quick word on this Dolphins schedule. It is.
It's rough.
Arguably the toughest in the league.
It's
Several people have crunched the numbers and are like, dude, this is the toughest schedule in the league.
But it's also a really good team.
Colin, down the stretch, here are their final 4 games. Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. Like, if you're teetering, can we get into the playoffs? Remember, late in the season, people are hurt. You have to face the Jets pass rush, the Cowboys pass rush, Baltimore, and then the Buffalo defense, which can be nasty up front. Miami's going to be boom or potentially massive bust. We'll see. I do have a bet on the Dolphins. You like to win money, but I'd rather have the Jets get in the playoffs. It's not like it's a $2,000 bet or anything. Final story. Jeez. Yankees. Here we go. Finally ended their 9-game losing streak, so you can stop bashing them. Picked up a 9-1 win over the Nationals.
Oh.
They're now 61-65, still on track for their first losing season since '92. GM Brian Cashman did not mince words. When he spoke to the media, here's what he had to say.
It's been a disaster this season. And yeah, it's definitely a shock. Certainly, I don't think anybody on our side of the fence, from our player group, from our coaches, our manager, or even outside the organization, would have predicted this. We're going to evaluate it all. Clearly, unfortunately, we're going to have some time to do that. But I'd say everybody's had a little bit of a hand in it, from top to bottom, and it's our job to find out where.
Doesn't look like he's had any sleep lately. I mean, he looked brutal.
You can lose in baseball. Hard to lose in New York with the Yankees. Fans are a little unrealistic. I think, what did we do yesterday? They've made the playoffs 24 or 29 years. The Braves are the only team even close. The Giants have, they're not. We said this earlier in the season. We did this 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago. They were batting like .221. They were just ahead of the A's. Outside of Aaron Judge, they can't hit. They don't have enough good players.
You know how we joke that there's a generation of NFL fans who don't know the Cowboys being a good team? There's a generation of baseball fans who only know the Yankees, and the Yankees are in the playoffs every year. They come up short, but they're always in the mix. Under 500? I don't know. So one of my buddies just texted me a hot take that Boone is going to get canned, and then he'll go to the Angels and coach them next year.
Well, his dad played for the Angels, Bob Boone.
You say so. You're Mr. 70s baseball. So.
No, wasn't Bob Boone a catcher for the Angels in the 70s? Yeah. Thank you. Greg Toohey, baseball expert. Yeah. Baseball family. Aaron, Brett, Bob. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Toohey baseball.
All right, J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping.
From checking in on the running back, and that's not the only star they've checked in on, having ongoing talks with the Colts about picking up Jonathan Taylor. This comes after Miami was all in on Dalvin Cook before he gave them the stiff arm to sign with the Jets. What is this Miami? They're just pushing all their chips in the middle, huh?
Well, you don't have any choice. Tua is the most fragile quarterback right now in the league in terms of that concussion changes everything. I think Miami's doing the right thing. We got no idea. We're going to go pay for Fangio, Ramsey, running back. And by the way, I don't think, they got to pay at Tua, I think, 2 more years. So the bottom line is, you know what Miami's going to draft next year? Even if Tua's good, they're going to draft a quarterback. Miami, because they don't have a lot of holes, they're going to go O-line and quarterback next year. So whoever comes out of college to play quarterback for the Dolphins, maybe backing up Tua or playing, it's going to have a lot of good players.
Oh, Mike White. Mike White could be the guy. We'll see.
Not the guy.
We'll see. Just a quick word on this Dolphins schedule. It is.
It's rough.
Arguably the toughest in the